Hello, I'm Martin Hale of HME Technology, and today I'm at the Sedgefield Community College in their Design and Technology department, and I'm absolutely surrounded by excellent pieces of work. I'm going to know a little bit more about them later, but in the meantime, this one particularly fascinates me because it's got gears. But now let me introduce you to the head of department, Hugh Guller. Hugh, thanks ever so much for letting me come into your department today. I've been looking forward to this visit, and it's been even better with what I've seen so far. And I was fascinated by this particular production of this box. And also, they're looking at actually putting it into a packaging, aren't they?
Yes, the whole point about this project is about CAD-CAM. And it's about exploring the materials that we use and that are available within the department. So they actually start off with a small tray. And before they make the tray on the computer, they actually try out cutting a finger joint by hand.
Right.
So the main focus about that is the measuring, the accuracy. Once they've cut a finger joint, we then draw a finger joint on Corel Draw and then laser cut it. And they can compare the amount of time it takes to cut the finger joint by hand against that on the computer.
Right.
They can then also analyze that for the accuracy. So once they've done a single finger joint, they then make a small tray. So that's just the beginning point. After that, we challenge them at each stage with different bits. Because as you know, design and technology is about problem solving rather than just pretty making.
Absolutely.
So from the tray, they're then asked to put a hinge and a lid on.
Have you got some examples of
that?
that?
We've got some examples here. The next one, and we get some students who think, right, well, I've done it at that size. I'll just click and drag it to the actual size I need, forgetting that the actual joints are increased in size as well. So from their mistakes, they learn a valuable experience.
Yes, okay.
But we don't just stop there. We move on to other materials, and we even sublimation print. So at each stage, we're experimenting with finishes, we're experimenting with the looks of it, but also how things work.
Yeah.
So with some of our students, they really push the boat out and go for gears, which add that extra movement. After that, we'll then add in the element of laser cutting veneers and inlaying veneers into the birch face ply.
Could I have a look at that?
So we get some really interesting boxes. That one will actually stand on its lid if you open it right
okay, yes,
out.
yes.
Then we introduce another material, which is the acrylic. And this focuses then on students, and it's about quality of product, because the same sizes for birch face ply won't necessarily work with acrylic.
No.
So they've got to use that accuracy, their measuring, their numeracy to ensure that they take into account the thickness of the material.
Right.
So for us, it's mathematics in action.
It is, isn't it? And what year group are we looking at here?
This is a group, a year 10 group, and this is over a term's work. And this is about building up their skills ready for the GCSE final controlled assessment.
It's quite outstanding.
So a lot of their skills they'll use in their final coursework, but they'll also be learning a lot of the skills to choose which is their favourite area, their favourite material.
Right.
So they can bring their strengths into the controlled assessment.
Wonderful. Hugh, tell me about this Year 9 project, and also you mentioned about the pupil who came in when you came to the school and said, "We don't do writing, sir." Explain that to me.
That was an interesting moment when I first started at Sedgefield. And it's one of the things that I always remember, but it's one of the things that I wanted to tackle.
Yes.
And that element of we don't do this way. And I wanted to make our own Sedgefield way.
Right.
So this project, the focus of this project is about ergonomics and the relationship of products with the human body.
Right.
So for this one, the students created their design drawings, 2D, 3D drawings, and then fashioned them out of styrofoam. And these are all hand-carved, hand-built, by the students and then painted. But towards the end, and this is the key point, they analyse their work. And this analysis is quite detailed. It brings in, their thoughts, they're adapting their thoughts and putting it into words. And we also focus on, their literacy, making sure that they're able to evaluate properly and justify their opinions, justify their decisions with their work. Because that's something that isn't just a GCSE focus, it's a lifelong skill, being able to evaluate people's work, being able to justify your own opinions. It appears everywhere.
Lovely. A fine example of design technology, innovation and creation. And we're now going to see some Year 11 success stories, which I think are really going to blow your mind. Right, Hugh, when we arrived here this morning, this is a Year 11 project, and because it's illuminated, it caught our attention straight away. And you mentioned to me that there were 3 items in here done by pupils who were expected not even to reach probably their level D in examinations. And you said to me, pick out those 3 pieces. And I have to say, I was absolutely stunned. I couldn't do it. But you're going to tell me now which pieces they are you?
Well, the thing about these, although students have target grades, what I try and do within product design and technology is to say you can do better than.
Yes.
And that's what we try and do. So a lot of our students have performed better than their target grade.
Right.
And continue to do so.
This is very unique, isn't it? No,
Well,
ornate is the word I was looking for.
All of these are built on their skills of built up through year 10 and into the beginning of year 9.
Right.
So a lot of the veneer inlay, they've learnt in year 10 using the laser cutter.
Gotcha.
But again, it comes back to problem solving, not just pretty making.
No, it's lovely.
But it is difficult to spot which ones
Yes.
have beaten their target grade.
Right.
But this one has beaten their target grade.
Brilliant.
This one has beaten their target grade.
Lovely.
And that one has beaten their target grade.
So a good future for the United Kingdom then, going
One would
forward in
hope so.
manufacturing and
One would
design
hope so.
development.
Yes.
Excellent.